I think the best thing I've learned this past year is the power of community. In CTE, we work towards trying to build community across campus, within departments, and within our own department. And I think that when you have a sense of community, you can feel really empowered to take risks, to try new things, and to just, I don't know, have a greater sense of being part of something bigger than you. So I just want to thank everybody who's been part of my community. I've had a lot of benefits from my community on campus as well as my professional community this past year. And thank those who've been part of our CTE community and welcome those who get to join us.
So a significant thing that I've learned, and probably the best according to my family, would probably be that learning and teaching, learning new things sometimes requires that one surrenders one's self. And this year is the year that my young boy turned into a man. This is the year that he turned 18. And I found myself still seeing him as a little child, just like the child that I, bathed and diapered and picked him up after he scraped his knee and all that stuff that one does with your little children. I still see him that way sometimes. But this is the year where I've had to forget about that and try and let him become the man that he's becoming. And I gotta say that one of the things that I learned is that it's possible for me to sit in the back seat of a car driven by my son. And I think that this is surrendering a certain amount of power and control, and is probably an apt metaphor for the way that I need to remember to treat my students when I'm teaching. So not to be a backseat driver, not to get freaked out, maybe even look out the window once in a while instead of just at the road and at the mirrors trying to see in them to make sure that everything's all okay. So this is the year that my son has started driving us around and picking us up and bringing us places. And it's been pretty interesting watching him do that and grow up and watching me relax about it. So that's my story.
Okay, well, Mark, there's a saying that goes, life is what you make it. And I often think in terms of, and for this particular year I found that to be very true, but also I think in terms of education and learning, that education for all of us is really what we make it. And for me that was an enlightening discovery this year.
I'm learning how to kite ski. So it's a new activity. Lazy man skiing out on a lake or out on a field, put on some skis and get dragged around by the wind.
Last year I learned a very important thing to everyone, that we get worried that when we get older our brain will not function as good, and we get worried about Alzheimer's disease and the Parkinson's disease and all those diseases, and I learned that your brain cells can perform as good as possible or as good as best if you follow a specific regime to your life. And to follow this specific regime, you have to watch your nutrition, you have to watch your spiritualities, you have to watch your socialization and your activities and exercise. There are 5 different concepts that you have to follow to make your brain work to the best when you're older. And this is great news that I learned this year.
I was actually thinking quite a bit about that recently because I'm taking courses or lessons in 2 new things that I, in one case, have never done before, in another case is a renewal of an old hobby. And I've been thinking about the intersection of those 2. So I'm doing singing lessons and I'm also doing horseback riding lessons. And the new thing about the horseback riding is it's classical dressage, so it's very new for me. And I'm realizing that although they sound really different, in both cases, my key learning has been about the importance of risk-taking and completely letting go, and that my biggest jumps in learning, and there have been huge jumps, I would say, in each case, have been when I just said, okay, this is all out of control, it doesn't matter, and then I've suddenly integrated and assimilated everything and gone to this whole new level. So my best learning is about learning to get out of my own way when I'm learning.
The thing that I am happiest to have learned in the past year, or to have learned about, is this. It is a Tibetan singing bowl that I got when my family and I went to New York after New Year's for a few days, and it astonished me when I saw it because, well, first of all, just watch. You go like this, it rings, but then you can go like this. One moment, I'm going to put it in my hand. And it gets louder and louder. And the reason I am so pleased to have learned about this is, I guess, sort of for its metaphorical associations, that a silent bowl can learn to sing.
So I've really enjoyed taking a psychology course and being a student in a large class and going to lectures. And I've enjoyed the topics, so learning about the concepts in the course, things around memory and attention and perception. And it's just been really great to sit in a classroom full of young people and watch them learn as well and see how excited they are about it. And to actually watch what they're doing with technology in the classroom. So I tend to sit at the back so I get a good view of that. And to see actually how friendly students are to someone who's obviously not one of them coming in and participating in their classes. So that's been great.
I wanted to tell you a little bit about the great conversations I'm having with my children. They're 5 and 7, and it's really neat as a parent to start to see them move from being a toddler with all these questions to actually start to have some answers, and just to see the amazing learning that they're doing all the time. They just always have lots of great questions, and trying to sit and explain some of these ideas to them. And the other day Katie was asking about professionalism, and I struggled a little bit with that, and Lauren and I were sitting and reading all about the solar system. But it is, as a parent, it's really amazing to see your children love learning and be excited to be in school, and just, I think I'm learning a lot from them as I watch them do their learning as well.
So in the past year, I've learned to be gentle with myself. I've learned to try and concentrate on my priorities and make sure that every day I do something that's important to me. And I think one of the most important things I've learned is to take time to ponder.